The NLAW gives a soldier the power to destroy an armored tank in seconds, and the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine has been the greatest proof of that, as it has been a sole game-changer to strike fear in the hearts of the Russian military. So much so, that Britain has sent over 10,000 units of the NLAW and another anti-tank weapon, the javelin, to Ukraine, to turn the tides in favor of Ukraine, with other countries such as Finland, Luxembourg, and Sweden following suit. So who's gonna win? British NLAWs in pair with US javelins or Russian cornets? The UK is not about to let Ukraine lose the 2022 Russian-Ukrainian war, and has gone to great lengths to ensure that, with Russia's Kremlin being forced to acknowledge its efforts by tagging the UK's Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, as the most active anti-Russian leader. And it's easy to see why. The UK Ministry of Defense is planning to dish out $33 million for Ukraine's armed forces and the International Criminal Court's investigation into alleged war crimes, $5 million for the BBC World Service to tackle fake news regarding the war, and over $250 million in thousands of anti-tank weapons in multiple batches, with the last batch of 6,000 units coming after Ukraine testified the British NLAW anti-tank weapons as one of their most successful weapons against Russia, putting an uncounted number of Russian tanks, armored carriers, and trucks out of commission faster than even Putin could. Since then, the Russian military has made numerous efforts to defeat them, with each new one more embarrassing than the last, but failing just as well. The defense system on the newest Russian T-90 tanks, in particular, designed to enable the tanks to sense and destroy anti-tank missiles in flight, was one effort that even the Pentagon believed would be effective. But it wasn't, because apparently the NLAW is far more powerful than anyone thought. But just how powerful is it? The NLAW, standing for Next Generation Light Anti-Tank Weapon, is a meter-long armor-penetrating short-range weapon with a simple mission: to take out main battle tanks. These tanks, armed with the most sophisticated weapons and countermeasures, are easily the most dominant piece of land-based military equipment everywhere in the world. And for NATO countries, this had to change, as Russia boasted a large fleet of indomitable tanks. There was the need for a weapon capable of taking away the tactical advantage of the tank, which is where a Swedish company, known as Saab, comes in. In the late 1990s, Saab was developing a man-portable anti-tank weapon, referred to as the Main Battle Tank and Light Anti-Tank Weapon, MBT-LAW, which quickly caught the interest of the British Ministry of Defense, who had Saab complete in their Next Generation Light Anti-Armor Weapon program in January of 2001. It didn't take long for Saab to impress the assessment team and even contenders, and so after just 1 year, in 2002, Saab was crowned winner of the competition, resulting in the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the British and Swedish defense authorities for the development of the program to continue in Sweden, while manufacturing was to be done mostly in the United Kingdom, all amounting to a total cost of over $550 million. The result of this is the birth of the NLAW, a lightweight shoulder-fired single-use missile system designed for use by infantry. Its missile utilizes a soft launch system that makes it usable anywhere, even in interior spaces, without injuring personnel with the rocket's backblast, as it is first shot off the launcher with a low-powered ignition system, after which its main rocket ignites and propels it at a blurry 440 miles per hour, more than half the speed of sound, en route to destroy its target, whether in a direct attack, or, depending on if the target is armored, a top attack, where the missile hits from above as a form of plunging fire, since the armor is usually thinnest at the top of an armored vehicle. For a stationary target, the missile goes at it directly, while for a moving target, the missile flies to where the launcher's target algorithm predicts the target will be, guided by a dynamic calculation based on the predicted line of sight, or PLOS, whose parameters are gotten by an initial 2 to 3 seconds of tracking that the gunner does to train the electronics on board to compute the target's angular velocity. No further guidance, such as target illumination, distance calculation, or wire guidance, is required of the gunner, qualifying the NLAW as a fire-and-forget weapon intelligent enough to take out even targets out of direct line of sight without supervision, as long as the target is within its 800-meter combat range. This lethality and ease-of-use combo has proved appealing to the international community, with proof in the fact that the NLAW is now in use in the militaries of multiple nations, aside from the UK and Sweden, such as Finland, Indonesia, Luxembourg, Malaysia, Switzerland, and now Ukraine, who seems to be making the most of these anti-tank weapons. And not just the NLAW, but the javelin, an American super anti-tank weapon that works like a sniper capable of taking out targets miles away, with over 500% more range than the NLAW. The FGM-48 Javelin is the representative of the United States in the anti-tank weapons space. Like the British NLAW, it has a fire-and-forget design and is capable of a direct attack as much as a top attack. Its lock-on before launch and imaging infrared seeker for automatic self-guidance results in impressive accuracy that is sure to destroy any target within a 2.5-mile radius, be it an armored vehicle, a building, or a helicopter in the sky, as the Javelin's missile can fly as high as 490 feet to deal some serious damage. This missile, designed for a soft launch, has a high-explosive anti-tank, or HEAT, tandem warhead ingeniously fitted with two shaped charges separated by a composite material blast shield to enable the Javelin to counter the advent of explosive reactive armor, or ERA, on armored vehicles. The ERA lies over a vehicle's main armor and explodes when struck by a warhead to detonate the warhead prematurely and ultimately neutralize it, as this premature explosion does not hurt the vehicle's main armor. But the Javelin's missile has a workaround for this with its two charges. The first is a precursor charge fitted to detonate the explosive reactive armor and allow an opening to the main armor, where the second charge, which is the primary warhead, penetrates into to introduce itself in the most explosive manner. This attack setup significantly boosted lethality and reliability of the Javelin, so much so that as of 2019, the Javelin had about 5,000 successful engagements, a number that's sure to increase as the weapon has become a determining factor in Ukraine's resistance to the Russian invasion. In addition to Ukraine, the Javelin is operated by at least 20 other countries around the world, but with a not-so-economical unit cost of $216,000, the countries may soon be forced to look for a more wallet-friendly alternative, such as the $26,000 NLAW, or maybe, just maybe, the direct competitor, the Russian Kornet. The 9M133 Kornet man-portable anti-tank guided missile is Russia's response to a military world equipping infantry with firepower originally meant for tanks. The Kornet, particularly its 2012 updated variant, is designed to destroy tanks, including those fitted with explosive reactive armor, fortifications, entrenched troops, and small-scale targets with a long line of heat and thermobaric warheads. The system is packed with combat assets, maintenance facilities, and training assistance that make the weapon capable of being fitted to a variety of tracked and wheeled vehicles, a capability that comes with its own power-ups for the Kornet. When mounted on a vehicle, the Kornet is equipped with an automatic target tracker that allows the operator to designate a target and have the computer track the target as the missile travels towards it until impact, as opposed to having to manually place the crosshairs on the target through the missile's flight on the unmounted version. The Kornet also features a new beam coating that allows a vehicle equipped with twin launchers to attack two different targets at once, increasing its rate of fire, decreasing the number of vehicles needed for a mission, and enabling the destruction of armored vehicles through multiple simultaneous fire, also known as salvo fire. This increases its lethality and comes particularly handy when aiming at helicopters and UAVs. So far, over 35,000 Kornets have been built, currently operated by more than 10 countries, playing significant roles in multiple conflicts in recent years, but not the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. That's an honor left exclusively to the Javelin and the NLAW, that have both been busy in the conflict, to say the least, with the NLAW being a slightly bigger celebrity at the moment, as the machine from Saab has been tearing through Russian tank metal like knives through butter. And speaking of Saab, did you know that they also manufacture the Gripen E, a direct contender of the F-35 Lightning II fighter?